So we're leaving the brash ice. We're kind of making our version of a Russian icebreaker. I'm up front, supposed to be doing the lookout for the ice, but I think it's purely an easy call at the moment.
Do you want to call and tell them, well, what do you guys think?
So you idiots. Like, you dummies, don't you know it's snowing out?
Do you think we could go all the way around?
Sure, why not? So yesterday we were in this relatively exact same spot and all of this is wide open. So all this brash ice has come about overnight. Hi once again, latest episode. So Mike is driving us through the brash ice, and way off in the distance at that rock, that cliff face over there is a leopard seal just dozing right at the base. And so we're going to go hopefully through all of this brash ice and see if that leopard seal is actually catchable. Debatable. And so anyway, I just wanted to say hi to everybody and once again give you a bird's eye view of what it's like down here in Antarctica at Palmer Station.
Point one is a seal dive view, which will be underwater.
Yeah, we don't want the seal dive view. That'd be a bad view. So you guys can look around and see this is all the brash ice, and it just goes on and on and on. I mean, we got this, for us, big iceberg here on the left, which Mike's about to avoid. But if you look around, it is just brash ice everywhere, and it's probably because there's no wind at the moment for the past 2 days. The temperature is actually risen, so we're just below freezing. So I think the fact that it's just been sitting here not moving has allowed all this top ice to develop. You can see what it's like. You can see our boat going through all this stuff. It's not fast. Yeah, this is Skua. But for the past 2 days, the temperature is actually risen, so we're just below freezing. So I think the fact that it's just been sitting here not moving has allowed all this top ice to develop. You can see what it's like. You can see our boat going through all this stuff. It's not fast. Now for those of you who saw the movie Happy Feet, that right there is a giant skua. Just an amazing cloud formation. I don't know if the details are going to come out in the video, but there's like a giant powder ball just lifting right there. And I think we're going down to the right of that peak. Left of that peak, right in the middle. Passageway. We're making our way down to Anvers Island. This is where Palmer Station is. You can see the little floating iceberg. What do they call it? Just hear all of the movement going on. Probably heard the crack in the background. Just fissures all along the ice, just as it enters the ocean. glide along the ocean. Wave kind of like that pelican, you know. You can see the deck. I gotta say, there's not a whole lot of warm and friendly to this environment, but it is just unbelievably beautiful. You can see the cliffs just falling off into the ocean. You can see where the ice and the rock have just fallen off from the cliff and now it's just sliding. Point 8, which is just south of Palmer Station, and we're in a cove surrounded by Mike and the glaciers. Torgerson Island, and we came across this massive leopard seal just sleeping on one of the ice floes. So we're kind of gently circling around. We don't want to scare her off. See, she knows we're here. You see the massive, massive jaws. You know how powerful her face is. She's just checking us out. Getting a little bit closer. So he's, there he is. Hey, buddy. I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a bunch of blood right around his head. No, not on his head, but there's a bunch of red stained snow right around his face. He probably had a little meal last night. Buffalo of southern fur seal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
See the situation that we're in. These are crab eaters. That's what we want to catch. where they live. It's not exactly the most hospitable of terms to get to them. That actually doesn't look that bad, so it'll be interesting to see if they want us to go out and get it, but that doesn't look too bad. Some of them are on pieces of ice a lot smaller than that. I'm gonna say thumbs up. Boat's stopping, so my guess is we're gonna try and capture that seal right there on that piece of ice. So let me pan out, and you get an idea of what's going on. So you can see all this pack ice. Super cold right now. First thing in the morning. You can see Cape Petrel gliding along, birds everywhere. So you can see. Whew, that's cold. Just got hit by wind. Just a phenomenally beautiful morning. I mean, look at this. The wind coming off of that mountain. Some Cape Petrels. Going back away from the wind. It's cold. So, and you can really see just how difficult it is to get to these crab eaters. So we're going to have to lower a boat and somehow get over to that crab eater if indeed we want to anesthetize it. Guys, this is the real deal. Look at these things. Ancient bits of glacier that have popped off and become icebergs. Just incredible. So different planet. Over there at the base, can't get you over there. There's another fur. There's another seal. Just sleeping away. I think they decided, marine techs who really know ice decided that both of the seals that we saw were just too much in a sketchy position. There's another one, but I think that's the same thing. They're saying that the other ones are just, they're too precarious a spot.
Yeah, I agree.
The ice is just thick and thick. Kind of working our way through that. The boat's doing a great job, just pushing us through. Birds everywhere. It's not massive flocks, but they're always there. Hear rumblings in the distance. Some of the glacier face is coming. You can see the same striations off in the distance. They're just millions of tons of ice just pushing down and forcing the glacier face to fall into the ocean. It's kind of like layers of onions. Here again is another crab eater, but just sitting out there on the ice. There's no safe way that we can actually get to it, deal with it, work with it. So we just have to pass it on by. The good news is they're becoming more numerous and easier for us to find. The bad news is that they're out on the pack ice. So they might as well not be there at all. I feel like we're being teased.
Atta girl. hour. Put it on the internet as some sort of cure. You'd probably get millions.
Probably would.
Need some story, right?
Darted a seal. Pink dart sticking out. And we're making our way through the ice floe.
Go around the backside to see where the overhang is, because it might have shit the iceberg in.
I think this is the overhanging side.
There's a little open water right behind you.
It's already about 10:30. Getting ambitious. On the right, that's the dark. This island, this little block of ice. See if these guys are going to make a run for it. So there are 3 fur seals swimming away from us. We just scared them off with an ice floe, unfortunately. You see, it's just a beautiful day. I mean, it is just beautiful. I mean, the sun is out. I mean, it's cold as hell, but it's just an incredible day. Right now it's about -6. Let's see, some fur seals just sitting here. We kind of woke them up. What they do is they go out at night, they feed, and then they come and sleep out on the ice floes during the day, kind of dry themselves out. It's a way to get air back into their fur. They have 2 layers of fur. They have these really long bristly guard hairs, and then they have this really nice dense undercoat. And the way they stay warm is they trap air. And so it acts as kind of a really good insulating barrier. Fur seals don't dive as deep as the true seals. The true seals are much bigger, and they have a layer of blubber coat, and they have very thin coat of hair. It's very beautiful. It's very nice, very soft, but their primary way to stay insulated and warm is through blubber. You can see all of this is it's kind of modified pancake ice. It's just thin sheets of ice that's forming just at the surface. And what all this is the precursor to when this whole area becomes solid sheet ice during the winter. And you can see everywhere. It's, you know, we've been going through this for a couple of weeks now, where all of these ice sheets are, and probably in about a month or so it'll be pretty solid. The boat may be able to get through here, an icebreaker for sure would, but a Zodiac, there's no way. And technically somebody could walk on this, but you'd kind of be asking for some trouble. You know, and also what happens is that the ice freezes, but it freezes unevenly underneath. On the top it may be even and look really nice, like a skating rink. But underneath there's air bubbles and there's currents and there's things that kind of erode it. And so it becomes very unsafe because, you know, maybe 5 feet in one section and you can drive a car over it, and then a few feet away it's down to about 4 or 5 inches. Perched right up there. So this is the backside of that island.
That's
See the leopard seal? It's up there. Oh, the seals.
so do you think we can go through there?
Yeah, try it. You need to go slow just in case.
Real slow.
rocks all through there.
Ooh, I don't know, you
It
guys.
may be one of those things where
What do you
it's
think?
really, really slow. You can always back out.
You don't think we can go through that?
What's your famous last words? I think if you stay... Okay, don't rock the boat, I'll stand up. Yeah. There's rocks all through there.
That's pretty amazing. Look at that.
You know something? It may be one of those things where we're just really, really slow. You can always back out. What's your famous last words? I'm guessing.
I'm just gonna go until. So why don't you see a map?
I think if you stay kind of...
Hey Dave,
Yeah.
you're gonna brace yourself.
So we're temporarily out of the brash ice, but I think we're about to enter more again. And what we're doing is heading south to an island called Stepping Stone. You can see there's kind of a cloud bank that's coming in, so our visibility maybe start getting compromised a little bit. See where it's starting to hit the land over there. Real light snow flurries. Temperature is warm, you know, about 30 degrees or so. See, we're starting to hit the brash ice again. They call that bar ice because it's really clear, and they'll actually take chunks of it up to the bar to make drinks out of. Hey everybody! So where you are is you're on the glacier behind Palmer Station. And so if you look out in that direction where I'm pointing, those are the rocks, Elephant Rocks. That's where we were this morning checking out the leopard seals. And you can see the brash ice that's surrounding those series of rocks. And then if you follow my finger to the right, you know, over that way, we circled those rocks, came around behind them, and then there's two islands that blend into each other, but the big one behind there is Litchfield, and that's actually an off limits because they have petrel chicks, and there's a little bit of an island break between them that we scooted through, and the one that's closest is called Torgeson, so we saw Torgeson. There's a bunch of Gentoo penguins there and more seals up on the beach. If you follow around, see the back end of Palmer Station that way. So that's the back end of Palmer Station. And then if you go over the mound over there, you can see this is all the area surrounding, and we're facing north at the moment. And you can come around here to the left, and that's Hero Inlet. This way, follow up to the left, and you can see there's flags all over the place, and you have to stay between the flag boundaries. Beyond that, well, there's crevasses and other things you probably don't want to find out about. But anyway, and you can see off in the distance the mountain range. Pretty nice. clear area. Face it's all crispy. Look at that iceberg in front of us. Look at that face it's all crispy. Yeah, they're pretty hardcore waves. Hey, once again, latest episode of It's Really Cold Up Here. So we're actually on top of the glacier behind Palmer now. And I'm going to scan down to the left. You can see the mountain ranges. You can see behind the mountains there's even more mountains. So let's see if I can zoom in there slowly so I don't get anybody really ill. Oops, sorry. So you can see tons and tons. I mean, this place is just so geologically active. It's just crazy. But you can see how beautiful it all is. There's clouds below the peaks, snow everywhere. You can see off. That's kind of to the northwest over there. And so you can see the sun. Sunset's obviously to the northwest. You can swing around back out. And we're here just looking. And that's a mountain right behind us. So we're facing pretty much due south at this point. Snowmobile up here, emergencies. And then I'm gonna swing you around here, which is to the top of that glacier. What's really neat is you could see striations where the glacier's cracking. You know, starting with up there, there's a flow that's coming down, and then you can see it's just striating and then falling off into the ocean. In a little bit I'll take a walk closer to the edge and then so you can see better. Go back out. So we're now still above on the glacier, and we're looking at that mountain that was directly to the south. You can see there's a break, yeah, a little inlet there. We can't go beyond these flags that are in front of us. But the water's just crispy calm. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. You can see all these islands that kind of surround the Halber Station. Did you hear that? Somewhere off in some distance, somewhere a big chunk of glacier just fell in, and I don't know if you could hear it on this tape, but we could hear it, the roar of the crash. There you go, we're on the other side of the boat. Thought I'd get some pictures before the storm comes in. We saw dolphins a little while ago. I missed it, but they're little dusky dolphins that float around in this area. They come up, check out the boat, and they swim off. They come up, check out the boat. I don't know if you can see it in this video, but there's a, it's a petrel. It's a great something petrel. I'll have to look up the name. Something petrel. I'll have to look up the name. So it's hard to you can hear the waves. There you go. Here, this will make everybody happy that they're not out there. Oh man, look at that. That is just brutal.
Although when it's really windy like that, it's if you're downwind, it's easier to see up.
Yeah, but look at that, man. That wind is just horizontal.
Oh, so you fill them with car firm and that's it.
Gorgeous. So guys, what you're seeing is dawn in Antarctica. It's just amazing. The sky is totally clear. It's probably about 5 degrees Fahrenheit. It's only slight wind. You can see there's no movement in the ice whatsoever. The spotlight's up there. still in the Tickle Passage. Over to the left is Hansen Island. See a little iceberg right there. And we're just making our way south. In a few minutes we're about to turn starboard, or for you land people, that would be to the right. Seeing as how I'm a nautical kind of guy these days. It's just unbelievable here. It is so beautiful. It is cold as hell. Just remarkable. You can see Mike down on the deck. He's just checking it out. Those waves over there against that glacier directly ahead of us.